Welcome to Google Ads Unleashed, the podcast that helps you harness the power of Google Ads. And now your host, Jeremy Young.
Hello guys, and welcome back to Google Ads Unleashed. Hope everyone is doing fine this Monday morning. So today we're going to be doing a bit of a different special episode. I'm actually going to be doing some for a reaction video because although of course I'm always usually at the forefront of what's going on in Google Ads, something passed by me completely this year, and that was Google Marketing Live. The reason is normally I'm there every year and have a look at what's new, but I was on my honeymoon, then I was away for work in Italy, then I had 2 podcasts scheduled in already with guests, so this is the first time I'm actually getting around to looking at what was new. And I've had a look at a lot, obviously I've seen a lot online as well. And today I wanted to have a look at a summary of WordStream. WordStream are an America-based agency who do a lot of good content on Google and Search Engine Journal, which everyone will be familiar with what who they are. It's just an industry paper basically, and I will be looking at the core features which I think are interesting, you guys should keep an eye on, and which I think will be interesting for us going forward. I'm going to start with a summary of Search Engine Journal. I'm going to go through all of the points bit by bit, which are going to be interesting for us, and I think which you should have a look at testing. So let's dive right in. So the first one will be ads and AI overviews now on desktop. So in the US, there will now be ads live for AI overviews on desktop users. Basically, what's going to be going on is, let's say someone searches a very high intent or an informational query for which usually there wouldn't be an ad showing because it's too top of funnel or someone that's too unspecific for something that you're offering. You will now have potentially shopping ads or search ads serve as the result of that query. As far as I'm aware, this is only with AI Max, so Search Max, or with PMax. So don't, if I got this wrong, then let me know. But I think this is only available for that. And basically what happened, the example was, let's say someone searches for something like, can I bring a dog carrier on board of a plane? And then it would sort of serve dog carriers suitable for planes as a result. So I really think this could be really cool. It's definitely something that you should start thinking about how to optimize towards. The reality of the situation is, however, though, this is still all relatively new. We don't really know how it's going to be served. I think what's going to be happening, though, is the same as with everything that's important about Broadmatch, everything that's important about potentially a keywordless future, is that your PDP needs to start becoming amazing. You cannot neglect your product pages and your collection pages anymore. They need to be absolutely sick, and they need to be able to be a placeholder for those types of informational searches and convert them as well. So super important to start thinking about search in this way. I think something that's going to be very interesting is AI Max for search campaigns. So I'll technically announce a few weeks before GML. There were more updates shared. It's a suite of features including creative and targeting enhancements to optimize the existing search campaigns. So this is already available in a couple of our campaigns. Essentially, it's a mix of broad, a mix of keywordless, a mix of DSA, all in one go. We've not really tested it yet. I would probably give it a crack, especially if you have a content-rich website. I can see this working really well. For instance, we have 1 or 2 clients who have a huge product portfolio of print-on-demand products. This could be an amazing way to test this. So always keep an open mind. I would very much encourage you to use that, and it's probably best for those purposes. I don't think that normal Broadmatch, normal search exact and phrase isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon, at least for the next 1 to 2 years. So it's extremely still relevant. But of course, I think we're all going to go down the AI route and the keywordless future. So again, big focus on what is actually in the content of your PDPs and collection pages. So focus on that. Then another update that they brought out was Smart Bidding Exploration. I love this. The reason is I've done plenty of episodes about how to determine your target ROAS for campaigns, how to even switch to POAS as the massive equalizer, which makes it really easy to run more targeted campaigns across the board. But this is already available for a couple of our search campaigns. This is a new toggle in Google Ads and search campaigns that allows to capture additional conversions that you may have not been eligible due to existing bidding restrictions. So it's more or less like a ROAS target range. I love this idea. I have so many clients who say something like, I don't know, I'd love a ROAS of 3. That's kind of my break even for most products. But I think I'm happy with like a ROAS of 2.7, but more profitable is good as well, 3.3. Well, happy days. You can now up and down toggle a ROAS flexible target of 30%. That just allows you to spend more and really sometimes give the algorithm a bit more breathing space and not be so strict on the 300% target. So this is something I really, really like and I think it's going to be really helpful for especially search and e-commerce, because that is traditionally the campaign type which really struggles to not only work but to provide volume as well. So if you can give the algorithm a bit of flexibility there, great. Same for POAS, right? Even if you're adjusting for POAS, you can say, hey, I'm happy with a 1.1 POAS, but 1.3 would be great, right? So you can be flexible there, and I'm really, really loving this update. Then in PMax updates, the next one that I'm looking at is channel level performance. So this has been a feature that's already been available for you if you use Mike Rhodes' script. You're understanding how much of what is actually going through which channel, how much spend, how many conversions are going through search, display, blah, 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 blah. But now you're going to be having this report within PMaxes, and it's going to be just more visual as well. You'll be able to even see sort of flow charts in the PMax report, and where you'll see where conversions are coming from, what conversions they are, on which channels they are. So really good stuff. I think that's just something that's really important. Then search terms reporting. That is something I've already actually seen, that we have now the same level of search term reporting in both search and shopping across PMax placements. In one campaign I've actually already seen this. Super helpful just to be able to do more on that and not having to use 2 or 3 other tools to deploy, for instance, n-gram analyses or other types of analyses. You can simply exclude the search terms now, and it is so much easier. I don't know why they tried to insist on that black box approach for so long. It's just more transparent. Everyone loves it. Better control. You can actually exclude real nonsense search terms much easier. And we can actually now exclude interacting users as well. So people who've interacted, let's say, with a YouTube video, website, or app, you can now exclude those from PMax as well. I think it's a no-brainer for it to really go for new customers only. Very relevant for a lot of industries. Then we go to a few creative updates that Search Engine Journal has put together in its summary. So a lot of them are really not that interesting, like Insights Finder or demand gen maps inventory and stuff like that. Or that now with YouTube mastheads, you can make them shoppable. This might be really interesting for big brands, right? So a shoppable masthead would be super interesting for, something like a Ring camera, or it would be super interesting for a Sony product or something if they bring something new out. But to be honest, all of this is a little bit wishy-washy. I think the only 2 things that I find really, really interesting, which I think are going to be huge, are going to be AI tools in Product Studio. So that means we can actually make better videos and images using generative AI, and much quicker. That actually cuts out to a large degree the client or some sort of content production agency for at least smaller things and less complicated things. I think that's going to be a godsend if it's good, right? As we know, generative AI is still in its infancy, and there are some teething issues with even if you use something like Zora from ChatGPT. But yeah, we'll have to have a look what this is like, and I'm very keen to explore that. More important, however, will be A/B testing in Merchant Center. I'm doing like the little sign from Hunger Games when she says volunteers tribute. Like, I'm so happy that this is live. I think I've been trying to find a solution to A/B testing in Merchant Center for like close to 10 years, and it's just never been an easy or straightforward thing to do. But now A/B testing is finally there, and you can A/B test anything, promotion recommendations, you can A/B test prices, you can everything from what I've been told and from what I can see. Product images, titles, this is going to be huge. So this is absolutely fabulous. Then the next thing are going to be measurement updates, which they've summarized. So there's a couple of things here which I find absolutely superb. First of all, incrementality test threshold. You're going to be very interested about an episode that's going to air next week on incrementality only, so stay tuned and tune in for next week to listen to that one. But it used to be a threshold of $100,000 per month spent in order to actually start with some incrementality tests, for instance, user-based or geo-based incrementality tests within Google Ads. This threshold has now been dropped to $5,000, probably thanks to AI. Because now it's just more accessible than ever for people to actually understand what impact their ads have on their marketing mix and on their bottom line. And I find that amazing. That's really good. That's going to be such an amazing update. And in fact, as an agency, this is one of the core things that we're investing in over the summer to understand better how to budget, how to make smart decisions with our ads. There's also going to be some other attribution updates, for instance, brand lift updates, which are going to be really cool. But that was, for me, really the number one update for measurements, which made me super, super excited. Then there's some final other updates, for instance, agentic tools. I don't really find them particularly interesting. For instance, there's going to be one which is going to try and streamline campaign creation, which is going to help with performance improvements. There's apparently going to be like sort of an marketing advisor agent within Chrome to help solve problems. But to be honest, I don't think that's going to be as good as a proper Google Ads specialist, and I don't think it's going to replace anyone at least for another 10 years. So to be honest, I think it's just a thing which they think might be interesting, but yeah, I don't really think it's going to be that huge. Now, I'm just going to be scrolling now through the other things which WordStream summarized to see if I missed anything. But to be honest, from all that I can see, those for me are the top updates, and those are the ones which had the most reaction from the industry as well. So those are the ones that you'll want to look into. I'm just going to repeat them now. That was A/B testing in Merchant Center. It is AI mode in Google Search and AI Max. Those are going to be huge. The smart bidding exploration is going to be huge. Channel level performance and search term reporting for PMax. And then for creative updates, it is definitely the A/B test and shop in Merchant Center and some AI tools in Product Studio. For measurement, it's definitely the incrementality testing. So those are all the ones that you want to look into. And if this was helpful, because I bet you any money a lot of people watched it without even understanding what they've just watched, or they missed it just like me and then consumed this little summary, then please give the podcast a subscribe. There's going to be an amazing episode coming out next week, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, if you have any questions, you can also reach me always at jeremy@younganddigital.marketing, or just go onto the website and book yourself into a 30-minute call with myself via Calendly. You can always find me on LinkedIn as well. It's Jeremy Young Google Ads, or just send me a messenger pigeon or whatever you want to do to get in touch. As always, this has been Jeremy Young, your personal Google Ads expert, and I'm wishing you a happy and productive week ahead.
Thank you for listening to Google Ads Unleashed. To connect with Jeremy, check him out online at www.younganddigital.marketing. We'll see you next time.